crowd, folks at home, welcome back to PAX Arena presented by DoorDash, where we are in the final stretch of the tournament. Only 4 players remain, and they are fighting for the lion's share of a $10,000 prize pool here. It is a privilege to be able to be here to cast it. Kimona, Lyric, Vicky Kitty, we are here on the desk to talk about some of the best players in the entire world.
Yeah, Dabuz currently sitting in the grand finals after that awesome set that we just saw versus him and Jackal. Jackal now waiting in the losers finals for the winner of this upcoming set in the losers semifinals. It's going to be Cosmos versus Naito Sharp.
I kind of have to call it out too. I mean, a large tournament like this being placed in New England. We saw tons of amazing New England players today, tons of New England Peach, which seems to be the flavor of the day. But all of them have fallen, and now it is up to Sharp to defend house here. But going up against these 3 players specifically, if they are able to make the run, is no easy task at all, Kimona.
That is a tall task, like you said, to be the last bastion of New England, and then to be going up against one of the best players of the Midwest, and then one of the best players in New Jersey, and then the guy who's known as the King of New York. Those are all in your path, right? And I mean, that just goes to show the talent level that's here, right? Most of these guys are top 50 players in the entire world, and I mean, it's anybody's guess as to how this is going to go.
Yeah, and when we talk about why these players are so talented, not only do they have the results nationally out here, I want to highlight some of those home run heroes that you guys were just talking about. Naito has such a huge hero pool to play from.
Yep.
It's very impressive, but with this map set that we also currently have, the stage list, I'm worried. I'm worried out here for Cosmos because there's a lot of flat stages to go to, and Naito does have another character that he could play. I don't think he's going to take him out. We have to see. I wouldn't be surprised if he did, and I know which character you guys know that I'm thinking of.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's the one he was hovering. We won't see it, though, at least here in this game 1. Instead, Naito Sharp going to go to a more tried and true character in that Zero Suit Samus, and Cosmos ever such a top-level threat with that Pyra and Mythra. That is what we are going to see as we kick off game 1 of the losers semifinal.
Both of these characters, I like to call them nimble and quick. Both of them very thin. They move very quickly as well. They do a ton of damage. One thing I can say from Cosmos' performance so far today is just tons of damage with Mythra. When you think of good Aegis players, you really think of Cosmos coming out on front here. Sharp, though, also has been playing very, very well, too. Fortunately, falling to Dabuz in winner's side. But right now, you can definitely tell a lot more calm, cool, collected. Sometimes you just need that time to recuperate, Kimona.
I mean, it's one of those times where, again, when you're playing with a lot of pressure to defend your entire region, right, then yeah, you want a little bit of time to think. But I know that Sharp came into this confident, right? He knows that he's got a long path ahead of him, but I know that he went into this one knowing that he's got a chance to win it, and we're dead even here, you know, going into near the end of the first stock here.
Yeah, I love how you highlighted how Sharp made his journey over here to the loser side, Larry, but then we also got to see what happened with Cosmos versus that Jackal set in a clean 3-0. So Cosmos out for blood to prove something out here too. Goes for the dash attack, does get punished right in front of Naito.
Yeah, so close too, but it is going to be Cosmos finding the dash attack in. Now Sharp stuck on the corner. It's so kind of hard to come out of the corner sometimes versus the Aegis because Pyra so heavy hitting, but now here comes the boost kick onto the shield. That's going to be first stop going on over to Sharp, Kimona.
Mythra is a character that battles with the power of light, and that translates over to her character weight as well, because she will go down to those stocks pretty early. Naito Sharp taking advantage of that with that up B, but it's like you said, you're not out of the woods yet when you're playing against Mythra. I mean, Zero Suit Samus has probably the best mobility in the game, but if there's any character that gives her a challenge to that title, Mythra is the one, and Cosmos pretty much undoubtedly has the best Mythra in the world. The Pyra, on the other hand, sometimes a question, but not right there as he gets that first stock.
Like you talk about light characters out here, ZSS definitely on that radar. At 160 though, you're gonna have to kiss that stock goodbye. 44% on the second stock, a nice little spot dodge out here from Naito, and I like the patient play. Rolls away after seeing Cosmos right in front of his face, trying to see that he wants to go for these grabs. These spot dodges have definitely been on point for Naito.
Yeah, for sure. I love the movement coming out from both players, right? Like how both of them are prioritizing center stage when they recognize that they don't have the opportunity anymore. Naito, though, unfortunately going to be in the corner, so going to eat a lot from this rapid jab coming out from Cosmos. We're still going to see the Mythra, though. I like the way that Cosmos prioritizes having Mythra out, but also has the Pyra in the pocket just in case if we just want to get something early done.
Well, the Mythra is the moneymaker for Cosmos, and particularly at any of these percents where you're trying to ledge trap and you're not going directly for a KO, you stick with the Mythra because Pyra's going to get outpaced by ZSS so easily, and it's only once Cosmos is ready to pull the trigger for a KO that he's going to switch over to Pyra.
It's that nimble quickness that Lyric had mentioned earlier before when it comes to the ZSS, but I like that punish currently going in from Cosmos. He's going to be able to get that grab. The patience by the ledge right there too. At 126, he's got a little bit of rate to work with, and he's going all the way to the depths to make sure that Naito doesn't have an easy way to get onto the ledge. That was perfectly timed too, because he knew that he couldn't make it onto the ledge right there.
Well, and it's so important that Cosmos did that ledge trap in that sequence. That whole edge guard was orchestrated in a way that he could win it, because ZSS has an amazing recovery, but only when she has her double jump and her flip jump. That down special you see right there, they are both super key resources, but if you snipe out both of those, then her recovery suddenly becomes very subpar.
Love the down tilt into the Lightning Buster coming out from Cosmos now. Sharp recognizing that it's kind of an odd place to be. Last stock already, Pyra out a ton of rage, Vicky. It's not looking good if you're Sharp right now, but honestly, Zero Suit Samus has the tools to get out of tricky situations. Oh my
Disgusting! That whole last sequence was disgusting from Cosmos.
That boy is different.
Off of the footstool, are you kidding me?
That boy is different. That boy is different, I'll tell you what. Naito Sharp did not tech that footstool, which is something you can do, but once you miss that, it's over. Cosmos will chase you to the depths. And what did we say about Pyra being the one to take the stocks? When you can do stuff like this, that down air was a little bit of extra spicy sauce for you.
Oh my goodness. And then the fact that he also was able to get that up on the platform there too. I mean, the heat was rising out there at the end of that first game.
Here we go, game number 2. We're still going to be able to see the same characters coming out from Sharp. I don't think we are going to be seeing any switches from Cosmos. We were talking about how Cosmos does play a pretty good Corrin, but honestly, the Aegis has been working very well for them so far. We did see Sharp switch on over to Sephiroth a little bit earlier in the day, but honestly, Zero Suit Samus versus Mythra seems just a lot more favorable in terms of a matchup, Kimona.
He's got a deep character pool, right? I mean, Sharp can always change things up, but I think that I like sticking with the one character that you know can contest Cosmos blow for blow when it comes for speed, because we just saw what happens when Cosmos starts advantage, when he gets you in a bad position in terms of the stage with that Pyra. But ZSS can easily escape those situations, but only when you have your resources. No double jump, has to use the flip jump. We talked about how important that was earlier.
It's huge, and when you talk about the character specifically getting that punish right out of shield right there with the up smash, you do have to talk about the mentals that some of these players bring out to the table. When Cosmos has a lead and he's feeling confident, he is such a scary player, but ooh, that flip kick juking him up a little bit, tries to go for the side B to make his way back. 97%. This is Naito's opportunity. And so close from being able to land that.
That's one of those moments you just can't miss against a player like Cosmos, right? When you finally get those resources gone, when you finally get that ledge trap set up, you have to be aggressive. You have to take that stock, because now that deficit that you almost got away from you is now only going to build.
Cosmos, though, going to be able to find double up there with Mythra, trying to get the worst intentions out with Pyra here. But unfortunately, Blazing End going to leave Cosmos in tons of end lag. Naito Sharp going to be able to punish very, very well.
Does get that grab, try to keep him by the ledge right now. Naito trying to reverse the situation, 73%, but Cosmos makes his way back. The up B over by the ledge, going right through it on purpose. I like the extra percentage that he's been able to reset here. Oh! And seeing into the future with the foresight.
Yeah, he said, I can see that coming from a mile away. And that's not even one of those moments where the foresight just bailed you out and got you something. That was Cosmos calling out that option. And you saw he charged that forward smash because he knew exactly where Sharp was going to end up.
Still, once again, Cosmos laying on such a pain train in neutral here. Still chopping it up with all of Mythra's aerials here. Good spot dodges, though, on both sides. This down tilt Lightning Buster has been getting so much mileage for Cosmos here, but Naito Sharp just still trying to get the flip kick.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the damage output that Cosmos has been able to put down, not only with that down tilt right there too, but just in general, the power of the air, right in the air too. He did the switch up into the nair, so close to the blast zone. Who let Cosmos in the kitchen right now? Because he is absolutely cooking.
Cooking with fire, right? Because that Pyra has been absolutely immutable in these stocks. And you saw that. Even the Mythra was able to do it too. But Cosmos has just not missed a beat in this set so far.
Absolutely not. I think it's time for a character swap. We will be seeing the Sheik once again. The Sheik that we've already seen today going 3-0 versus Nuggets. I think once again we are sticking with the archetype that we want to be fast. And Sheik, once again, getting a lot more love, I think, in the current day modern meta. But now, here we go. What a time to bring Sheik out when you're down 2-0, you have 1 game left.
Well, and you saw Sharp play the Sheik very well earlier in the tournament, right? It's just a matter of if he's going to be able to execute that same way against Cosmos. And we saw when he was playing it earlier, playing against Peach, he had more opportunities to lock down that character and get some big combo setups. But here, this is going to be head-to-head, chipping away at each other with 2 characters between Sheik and Mythra that just go at lightning speed.
Yeah, and to follow up on that, to see the matchup difference between what we witnessed between the Sheik and the Peach, you saw the needles in the air to negate the float from trying to approach into getting the bouncing fish a lot of times, taking full advantage of the rage. But this is what I'm worried about, the foresight, because you're going to try to press onto Cosmos' face, but it's going to be difficult even though Cosmos has been getting a lot out of the Pyra.
Well, the thing is that Sheik has a lot of combos that are pretty frame tight, but they're not frame perfect, right? That you're not going to be guaranteeing a lot of the combos. They just happen to be pretty much guaranteed against characters that can't break out. But that foresight comes out so quickly that if Cosmos pulls the trigger, he can escape some bad situations.
It seems like Sharp is the aggressor every single time on a lot of the combos, and then Cosmos is the one just kind of reacting here. Sharp trying to line up to get a back air, not going to be the strong hit though. So instead we'll take a little bit of the time at the end of Blazing End. Here we go though, once again finds the Nair into the back air. It's not the strong one, Vicky, but now Cosmos kind of recovering from below, and Sharp now finally going to be able to find the down tip forward smash, very much still in this.
And also the transition between the Pyra to the Mythra is something that we also have to think about here. Yeah, you want to swap over to the Pyra to finish off those stocks, but the moment you do, you're giving up that speed to keep up with Naito. Even though he's not that ZSS, it's still that speed and that aggression in your face that Sheik has.
Well, and this is that exact situation coming into play, right? That Cosmos doesn't have the maneuverability to get out of the corner with the Pyra. Intelligent use of the side B right there. Blazing End is going to get him back on stage, but you see that he's just not able to maintain control of that stage. It always belongs to Sharp as long as the Pyra's out.
And now, once again, going to be able to find the Prominence Revolt and the stock here. We're going right back to Mythra. A little bit of rage as well will help a lot of this damage start ticking up here. Here comes the up tilt, and now once again, Sharp getting kind of tossed around as Mythra does with so much of the cast, ending with the up special too to just add a little cherry on top to the pain.
All the foresight there into the charge attack too. You see Cosmos having that stage control, and it is that with that swap up with the Mythra. Look how much damage he's been able to put on. 78% already. Did make the swap over to the Pyra, and now this is the opportunity for Naito to continue on the pressure when he had the stage control.
So many small optimized follow-ups from Sharp too, seeing missed techs, right? Just a small jump here and there that he's able to punish. And that right there, just jumping right over the Blazing End before that hitbox gets right to him. Cosmos going back to the ledge. We've talked about how that's such a dangerous place for him. But both of these players being so meted out with their pressure. Naito Sharp not able to get a full confirm.
Honestly, I love the non-committal though, recognizing that the opportunity is out of there and just waiting. Sheik is a character that can get blown up very easily, but once again, Cosmos and this foresight has been such a pest in everybody's side today, constantly bailing out of so many situations.
Can we talk about the respect there too, right there from Cosmos? Not even trying to go for an immediate punish after the foresight, actually just waiting to see if he could get the grab reset instead. Something to mix up when it comes to the set that we're going to see play out as it goes on. But Naito being at 122 doesn't get scooped up.
We'll see both of these players fighting for center stage. Sharp again, not able to get his confirm, and Cosmos right out of it. Presses that air dodge, activates that foresight, gets his stock, takes the lead.
Oh, nice.
And Sharp maybe feeling a little bit snake bit, but he's right back into this game as it's one stock apiece.
Looking like Super Smash Brothers Melee there with a drop down into the back air by Sharp. Sharp now trying to bring this right back as Cosmos trying to land with that Mythra Nair to get up tilt started here. Both of them playing so careful, but it will be Cosmos finding the down throw Nair, double back air into the up special, looking so clean right now.
That one string, 53 and climbing, by the way. Yeah, he managed to reset, finally manages to answer back, but 62% already onto Sheik. You know she likes to play into that rage, but right now, Cosmos has had no problem being able to build up into that damage and then swooping over to this Pyra.
The damage is the big difference between these two, because both of these characters are virtually unpunishable compared to the rest of the cast, as Sharp uses that little footstool to get back to center stage, but a little bit too greedy trying to get the follow-up. Cosmos bails out, down air, not going to lead into the up air, does chase him on the platform. One more hit from this Pyra will end this set, and it will be the forward tilt at the ledge. Naito Sharp goes down one more time to that Pyra, and Cosmos closes out a clean 30.
That was such a good set from both players. I wanted to see a little bit more Sheik. I do think that Sharp was figuring it out at the end, but I think Cosmos' use of foresight got the better hand almost the entire set. Once again, Naito Sharp known for the zero suit, but the Sheik gave such a good show, and honestly, I'm so happy that we get to see Sharp offline.
Yeah, to follow up what we were talking about earlier, it's those tight frame combos that Komona had mentioned that the Foresight will allow Cosmos to always have a better position. Even when it comes to sometimes the situations where when Naito made this up over to the Sheik, you can expect the attempts with the drag down up air, try to follow up underneath the platforms into these up smashes. But how can you have that when the Foresight just allows Cosmos to be in a better position and then get the combo on you into a forward smash instead, or an up smash?
It's just a matter of knowing the matchup, right? Knowing what combos I can normally go for like that
so
suddenly you just can't go for. And that's kind of the difference between these characters, right? Is that both of them, like I mentioned, are more or less virtually unpunishable when they throw out their moves and they space them correctly. But Cosmos has that mastery of both the Foresight and of the Pyra as well, which gives him a real leg up on that character. Even though they were so evenly matched, Naito Sharp going to go out at 4th, and Cosmos moving on to losers finals to get his rematch against Jackal.
Checking out all the medals that you could potentially win, and look at how big that trophy is. Yeah, that is the cup for sure. We are heading now into losers finals here at the Omos Pro 10K Open. We talked about how 2 Tri-State players are left in this bracket, and Cosmos has to go through both of them now. This is Jackal, everybody, if we have not seen him before. Jackal, just one of the hardest working players I know, has been the blueprint for Wolf since day one.
He's been the guy that's really been pushing that metagame, and kind of every time you see him either playing at a local, playing on a stream, or even at a big tournament, he's always innovating. And Wolf is a character that has always been about that innovation. He has so many versatile tools that allow him to play in pretty much any style of game that you throw at him. And the mastery that Jackal has shown of being able to use all of those tools and finding different places to apply them, that's what's really pushed him over the edge versus some of the other Wolf competition.
And talking about the matchup that we're also about to see right now, while these 2 players are not strangers to each other, especially after what we just witnessed in the winner's side, they also last played, I believe, at Let's Make Moves Miami.
Yes. It was Game 5.
It was Game 5, and Cosmos lost in that top 64, I believe, to Jackal. So with those results and seeing what this Wolf has been able to do versus his Aegis, what is the solution here for Cosmos? Because now he has that momentum, he has that confidence. We talked about the mental side of Cosmos, but can he continue after losing to Jackal originally?
Yeah, I don't know, especially in a 3-0 fashion as well, but what a way to start it out. Throwing out the forward smash too. I mean, the pressure is intense. Whenever you come back from playing a set right away, it's like, all right, go time here. But honestly, Jackal sneaking in 2 dash attacks there, that's got to hurt, especially if you're Aegis.
I think especially in the early stages of the game, this is going to be Cosmos firing on all cylinders. He's warmed up. He's already in the zone after closing out that 30 in that previous set, right? But Jackal, on the other hand, is coming in knowing that Cosmos is playing like that, and he's going to automatically kind of be a little bit on the defensive. You can already see that in the percentages. Cosmos has really dealt some big damage to him, but the question is, who's going to get out to that first stock and really establish that pace? With the Pyra out, just might be Cosmos.
Oh, he's feeling himself, but the rising Nair and a second one to match that to maintain stage control from Jackal. This is the back and forth. I feel like every single time we see Cosmos make this swap over to the Pyra, it's been difficult. He solidifies that stock, recovering, getting back to the ledge, and with that second up B, he manages to take Jackal's first stock.
Honestly, in winners, when we saw this match, we didn't see Cosmos jumping from ledge a lot. That was actually the first time we actually saw Jackal punish him for it. And also, we weren't seeing a lot of the F-tilts too. I mean, it's going to go stock for stock as it did in winners, but Cosmos, once again, prioritizing trying to get in there, and Jackal's very content with just waiting underneath a platform or just switching position to make sure everything's safe and okay.
Again, like we mentioned, Wolf has just so many tools to fight in any sort of spot, and I think that Jackal, especially in this first game, has done a really good job of finding, all right, what distances am I allowed to play at? Where does Cosmos dominate at this moment? And where am I going to be able to dominate that match? And right now, Jackal is sticking to those ranges where it's really hard for Cosmos to just burst in and do a ton of damage. But the question is, are you going to be able to contest him when he's got strong tools like that Foresight, which Cosmos uses better than anybody I've ever seen?
He's so good with the timing of that. And also, look at his spacing. The spacing with his down tilts have also been on another level. Rolls back, avoids that grab here, and look at the patience between Jackal and Cosmos. Jackal utilizing the platforms, Cosmos jumping outside of Jackal's space.
Yeah, geez. Mythra and Pyra sharking underneath you is never safe here. Cosmos going to recognize that Jackal's on the offensive right now. Roll in and roll out. There's nothing wrong with resetting neutral hero. Jackal, though, going to be able to find the F-tilt as now Cosmos just playing the patient game. And honestly, sometimes when it's getting a little bit too slow, why not go back to Mythra, make it a little bit faster?
That's especially what Cosmos does when he feels like he's losing the pace of the game with the Pyra. He'll switch back to the Mythra, and he knows how to find those opportunities, like that up smash, where you don't have to use the Pyra to take the stock, as long as you can bait your opponent into the right spot thought you can do it as Mythra, but Jackal right there says, you tried to use that side B on me. I know how to punish that every day of the week. Try something else, sir.
It looks so intimidating and large off to the side of the stage right there, but it is so easy to punish once you place yourself outside of the range right on top, and she's incredibly vulnerable when she tries to make her way back from there. So great utilization from Jackal to get that punish. 62% on this last stock, and the rapid jab comes in from Cosmos.
Yeah, Cosmos now looking to seal out game one here, as now Jackal once again trying to find a right time to come in here. Cosmos, though, waiting so very patiently here. I feel like both of these players are kind of doing like a temperature test, but my goodness, the Lightning Buster, that one's got to hurt if you're Jackal.
It has that big dragon hitbox behind it, too, so that even if Jackal does cross you up a little bit, against Cosmos, you can still react to that and drag him in with that. And look at him just playing footsies on the shield. Jackal, though, reacting nicely, getting back his stage control, and that down smash would have been curtains.
Gets scoop up, tries to go for the scoop up on the up tilt. The fair into the back air, hanging out on top of the platform. This is Cosmos looking right now for that stock. He's on the pyro, he rolls in, avoids that down smash, and he gets the down air follow up here too. 140, amazing DI from Jackal.
Yeah, so close here, but now you have to get off the ledge versus Aegis. The short hop neutral air will be able to do it. Cosmos, though, going to just take the throw forward here. We're still on pyro, we're just going for a read here. Jackal kind of stuck in shield at this point. Gonna be able to get the reversal with the down throw. Love the blazing end there by Cosmos. Great spacing here, but you know what Jackal's looking for an aerial to bust Cosmos open, but unfortunately not going to be able to find anything.
They're just fighting so close to each other with that up smash dragging in all the way from the side. Jackal got to be excited about closing it out that way, taking that game one where it seemed like Cosmos was in control, but Jackal was stuck behind him every single step of the way, and all he needed was that one mistake. He's got the 1-0 lead.
Even the opening right there where Cosmos came in literally swinging, almost containing Jackal by the ledge for the first 30 seconds. Like you mentioned, Komodo was always right behind Cosmos, even with that opening. The scoop up on the up smash was insane. That first game, already putting up the cherry on top to what to expect right here.
It is so close on either side. The neutral could be cut by a knife here. It's so close every single time. I do think this is the first time we're going to see Jackal coming out of the gate swinging with a nice little 45% combo. A lot of the times when you're playing Wolf, you need those combos to kind of stay in it. Now Cosmos off stage and will be eating a fully charged F smash. That one's got to hurt.
That whole stock just got absolutely axed by Jackal, and it was all off of Cosmos just having a pretty poor opening to that game. After that game one, felt like he needed to get really aggressive, get in Jackal's face, but a lot of his aerials were really poorly spaced. You pointed it out earlier that his down tilt spacing, for example, has been really good this tournament, but in that stock, he just kind of ran at Jackal, threw out his moves, and got punished because they are punishable, and Jackal really just took that stock out back to the back of the yard.
It's the slippery slope sometimes when it comes to this mental game out here, but I like the attempt, almost catching the landing after getting the juggle with Mythra. Now swapping over to the Pyra. You need to try to close out this stock now, earlier better than later, when you're already at 82% on the second stock. You make the switch over to the Mythra. Now the way that Jackal is playing is, I have the lead, I have the confidence, he drifts back, he manages to dash back, wait to see what Cosmos is going to do. Gets a little too close and gets burned with that upbeat, but he's still alive at 97.
Jackal, though, trying to find a way to extend this lead. You know what Cosmos wants a grab slide, sneaking in there, but now Jackal once again controlling center stage so well and sneaking in the Wolf up tilt. He's up 3 stocks to 1.
That pivot up tilt is not easy to do either, but some great technical skills showed off there by Jackal to put it right where he needs it to be, and he could close out a 3 stock here real quick if Cosmos doesn't nail this recovery. He does. He uses that blazing end to get back to center stage, but it doesn't mean he's out of the woods yet because Jackal is still doing a monster job of just holding the reins here.
Even the delay onto recovering on the ledge right there to bait out what Cosmos was going to do to try to contest it with a dash attack. Beautiful play right there. Hands on a little bit too long on the ledge. Doesn't get scooped up by that down air just yet to close out the stock.
I love the patience as well. Jackal fully confident, recognizing when the invincibility was going up. Cosmos going off there with the Flame Nova. It's not going to be enough here, but here comes Jackal. Up air, forward air now as Jackal trying to line it for the back air here. Cosmos recognizing the situation, using Pyra's sword as a little bit of an extension. That F tilt reaches so far.
Seems like Cosmos can't catch a break in this game. Every time he connects a move, it seems like he's just on the wrong side of the Wolf, or he's sending him into the wrong places. And every time Jackal hits him, it just turns into gold. He's got the Midas touch here in this game too. And Cosmos, with some less than perfect choices, does end up on the ledge, does get that first stock, but this is still Jackal well in the lead.
Like, it had to have been done eventually right there, especially since he's landed that up B with the Pyro a few times on the ledge. Now he's got a whole other stock to build up from 32%, landing ran on top of Jackal, but avoiding that up smash.
He charged it enough, too, that he got pushed away from Cosmos' shield, and he could not just immediately shield grab him either.
Cosmos now stuck at 124 on Mythra here. Going to get launched off by the neutral air there as Jackal just trying to get a grab to potentially get for a forward throw DI mix-up here. But look at them, still just trying to find in. We'll be able to get these down tilts that we've been talking about this entire time. Jackal, though, looking for an up tilt again to sneak in there. But once again, we'll be able to catch Cosmos jumping with the back air. Jackal going up 2-0. That game was a lot less close.
2-0 lead for the man they call Jude Harris. And right now they might be calling him the GOAT because everything is coming up for him in this set right now. And that game two, I gotta say, that game one was definitely very close. The game two, not so much. And I feel like the stark difference between those was the fact that Jackal kind of just let Cosmos initiate absolutely every single interaction. And it was Jackal forcing Cosmos or even just tempting him to with his movement. Cosmos responded every time, and then Jackal was able to have an answer.
I'm so glad you point that out because there was a few times that we saw Jackal just wait, look what Cosmos is going to do, and even dash back to put himself in a better position to get a punish onto Cosmos. Even despite those nicely timed and spaced out down tilts from Cosmos on the Mythra, we see the extension opening up here, but Jackal just knows the timing on when Cosmos has been able to hold forward so that way he can contest with the fair.
Honestly, I love the choice of Final Destination here for Cosmos, but I also think this is a great stage for Wolf as well. Wolf hates obstructions on a lot of these down throw combos, but it looks like Cosmos going to be able to find the reversal here. Jackal trying to constantly land with the neutral aerial here, but here comes Cosmos, going to be able to find the rapid jab, as still the neutral is looking a lot better on Final Destination because it's a little bit bigger. We can take our time coming in.
Well, there's really nowhere for Jackal to run from Cosmos, right? And again, that game two was defined by Jackal kind of baiting out a lot of situations that Cosmos responded to with his movement, but there are fewer places to move to on Final Destination, and without any platforms to go to, you can't refresh your double jump if you use that to try to make an interaction happen, so that's a more committal thing. And movement, generally very safe. Moves tend to be more committal in most situations. Cosmos trying to even out that playing field with this stage choice, and so far, working out pretty well. He's almost got this first stock under his belt.
120 on his first stock out here. Looking pretty good here for Cosmos to make it even compared to what we saw in the last game where he got forward smash, charge up all the way on the left side of the stage currently. Waiting patiently in shield, and I like how Lyric brought up the change up between Final Destination. Waits once again, sees what Cosmos is going to do, and then goes in for the roll punish.
Yeah, things are looking really good for Jackal at this point. Honestly, Final Destination with enough space to recognize, you know what, I don't want to go in, so let me just use my blaster. Here comes the down throw into the dash attack. I love the shield too, potentially waiting for a nair on the come down from Cosmos, but now going to switch to Pyra, trying to get this stock away. It will be the up throw, trying to land the up air as well, but Jackal very aware. There's the forward throw though, and you're at 146. Cosmos unable to line up the down air though, Kimona. How do you get out of the corner?
There just seem to be these moments where Pyra's got you locked down so hard that, you'd think Wolf doesn't have the biggest hitboxes, but what he does have is great aerial drift. That's one of the things that Jackal has really been able to use to get out of the corner, but he's also been able to even get to the ledge in the first place as he's going to live this jab, because Cosmos seems to be a little bit unfamiliar with how to contest with that Wolf recovery, which is generally one of his biggest weak spots, but Cosmos is letting him live to 182, and that should not be happening against Wolf.
Especially when you're on the Pyra right here too, and now at this point it's going to be difficult to get some of these follow-ups if he doesn't get that initial KO. He gets it here, but at 87%, it's still that gap that Jackal was able to open up with. Comes down from the heaven, I guess the immediate grab to send Cosmos off stage.
Yeah, moving super quick though, not going to be able to land the tech in chase here on Jackal's side, but here comes Cosmos down throw, and still once again closing out with the up special. It's 35%, landing into the nair here, and now we're going to get a much needed ground made back up with the rapid jab. I love how Cosmos is threatening off stage, finds the nair into the up special. Vicky, it's getting so close, but I think Jackal may be able to stabilize if he's able to land at least for a moment, but still Cosmos now commanding so much of center stage.
That was one of those few moments where we did see Cosmos actually contest that recovery and make it work. Didn't close it out though, and that's the key, because that means Jackal gets back on stage, fights back, and now he's got that one stock lead, but that gap has closed. There is a significant amount of percentages that have been built up on the Jackal that Cosmos could potentially use to take that stock.
Go gets a dash attack, sending him over by the ledge. Jackal, though, gonna be able to push Cosmos right off the ledge right there, too. Scoops him up with the dash attack, tries to go for the double scoop. 127, it's the change up here now with the Pyro from Cosmos.
Yeah, things are looking a little bit rough if you're Cosmos here. Pyro is out to try and snake the KO right away. There's the down tilt, though. Jackal has been sneaking those in very well. The Prominence Revolt, though, is going to connect. We're on last stock. It's do or die for Cosmos right now. Already off stage due to the F tilt at 82. Looking for the